Here I've added on to the pizza form from the JavaScript step-by-step book, and here's the ehandler.js, the external JavaScript that the book added. So I'm going to highlight that. Now just pause the video and copy that section, unless you already have this from a previous video. Pause it and copy it. Okay, hoping that you've done that, here's the other half. Pause the video and copy this, and then you're done with the ehandler.js. Okay, hoping that you're done with that, let's go to the test.html changes. I'm going to do the same thing to this. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to go over it really quick, but if I go over it too quickly, just pause the video and type it in as you see it. So you got your HTML, your head, your title, the script that points to the ehandler.javascript, and here at the script in the head we have function reset form. So this is new. Function reset form var checkboxes equals document.forms pizza form dot topping check.length, and then we do a for loop based on that. For var I equals 0, I less than checkboxes, I plus plus, and then we have an if condition. If document.forms pizza form dot topping check index I dot checked, then document.forms pizza form dot topping check index I dot checked equals false. So what that's doing is it's looping through all of these items right here, and if it finds anything that's checked, it's just going to take that checked and set it to false, so it basically unchecks it. And then right here in line 16, var crust type equals document.forms pizza form dot crust dot value equals regular. If the user did change the crust from the default regular to deep dish or thin, this will change it back to regular. And 18, var size type equals document.forms pizza form dot size dot value equals small. That's resetting this radio button. If they did change it to medium or large, it's resetting it to small. And that's what this reset form button is going to call, the function reset form. It doesn't reset any of the values that show up here to the right of the form. It just resets the form to nothing checked for toppings and crust and size to regular and small. Okay, next, right here, this entire function prep pizza is everything from the previous video. So go on ahead. I don't think there's anything new in there. And pause the video, type it up if you need to, or if you've already done the previous exercise, then just open up your exercise. Alright, so if you're finished with that part, we stopped here at line 40, I'm going to move up. Alright, I'm going to go to here, I guess, is all I can really fit. So pause the video and grab this. None of this is new, by the way. This is all the same as the previous video. So if you've already done it, you don't have to do it again unless you just want to for practice. Okay, and if you're done with that, let's go down a little further. I guess we can just end that prep pizza function. Nothing new there either, so just pause the video and then type what's highlighted. Now this next function, function flip pizza type, this is new, however. So if you're finished, hopefully you're done with this, and we're going to do this part again. If you need to pause the video, pause it and then type, and I'll quickly go over this. This is a new function, function flip, and then you have a parameter in there, pizza type. If pizza type equals, and notice there's a double equal sign here, if pizza type equals veggie special, then document.getElement by ID peppers.checked equals true. Document.getElement by ID onions.checked equals true. document.getElementById mushrooms.checked equals true. Then we have an else if pizza type equals meat special, then document.getElementById pepperoni.checked equals true, document.getElementById sausage.checked equals true, and document.getElementById ham.checked equals true. Then we have another else if pizza type equals Hawaiian, then document.getElementById ham.checked equals true, and document.getElementById pineapple.checked equals true. So when we click any of these buttons, it's going to automatically populate certain toppings based on something that we call pizza type, equaling veggie special, meat special, or Hawaiian. And that's the end of the script in the head. We will add more things to the script in the body, but so far that's it for there. Now the style, make sure that when you copy this, you copy also all the way the end script tag with all those also ifs. Let's see. Let me see how much of this I can highlight. And you can pause it and type it if you need to. The table header and table data stayed the same. The table header, the table data cell stayed the same. So if you're done with that, I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm going to highlight the rest of the style and go ahead and pause this and then come back to it. We have ID prep button and ID reset button. This is new. Well, actually the prep button is not new, it's down here, but the reset button that has reset form on the face of it, that is new. So since they're sharing about the same style, I just put a comma and then pound reset button for the new button. And they share the font size of 20 pixels. They actually, as far as this is concerned, they share a background color of yellow, a border of 10 pixels green outside, a padding of 5 pixels. The width was changed to 48% because if you put in 50%, because of padding and borders, this button slides underneath the yellow button, and I want them side by side. So I made it slightly less than half. 48% worked for me. Border radius stayed the same. Now I didn't want the prep button and the reset button to both be yellow. I wanted the reset form to be white to kind of let you know that you're resetting it and taking it back to the default. So here, pound reset button has its own unique style. Shared all of this, and if I didn't give it its own, then they'd both be yellow. But since I'm giving it its own, background color white, it shares everything except for that one additional style. Lastly, there's form, and all of the form is the same. Float left, thick red solid padding, border padding 5 pixels, and margin 20 pixels. Okay, so if you're done with all of that, let's go to the next chunk. Make sure that after the style, you do your ending head tag. Okay, and if you've done that, let's go to the body and let's see how much of this I can get. Let's do everything before the table because we've got some new stuff here. The body tag is the same, and the form ID pizza form action equals pound, that's the same. But this P tag, an ending P tag, this is different. This holds these 3 new buttons. So in the P tag you have input type equals button, ID equals veggie special, name equals veggie special, value equals veggie special. Value for this button is what you see on the face of the button because you notice this is capitalized and the ID and the name are not capitalized. We have the other button, input type button, type equals button, ID equals meat special, name equals meat special, value equals meat special. And then the last button, input type equals button, ID equals Hawaiian, name equals Hawaiian, and value equals Hawaiian with a capital because you want to see that on the button. Alright. Next, how much can I get on here? I'm going to highlight from the beginning of the table to, I guess, to right there. So pause the video and type this if you need to. This is basically getting the table started. Alright, hopefully you're done with that. Let's get to the next part. Let's see, wait, did I forget something? I did forget something. I apologize. Okay, with the table here, we changed something. We had an ID in the last video, the ID for the first table data cell, right here that says sausage. I think we called that topping 1 or something like that, toppings 1. Now we're giving it a specific name of sausage because we're going to need to use that ID with the functions that make these buttons grab specific checkboxes, right? So we have to actually give it a specific ID. So here we changed it from topping 1 or whatever it was to sausage. And we didn't do anything, we didn't give these anything different. See, this is radio size 1 and radio size 1. This was like toppings 1, now it's sausage. We didn't do anything with the crust or the size. Because we're not having a veggie special, meat special, or Hawaiian pizza, we're not forcing a certain crust and size. We're only forcing the toppings for those specific specials, okay? So we don't need to do that for our radio buttons in that TD or that TD. Okay, so I finished that section. Now let's grab these 3 table rows. And again, if I go too fast, just pause this, type it out, and then resume. Here, for this TD, we gave it an ID of pepperoni, and that's the only thing we changed in that table row. Everything else is the same as it was. And the next table row, we changed the ID to ham, and that's the only thing we changed there. This table row, the only thing we did was give the ID a new name of peppers. Let's move on. If you're not finished, pause it and finish typing. I'll grab these 3. So in this table row, we gave it the ID of mushrooms. In this table row, we gave it the ID of onions. And this table row, we gave it the ID of pineapple. Pause it if you need to, because I'm moving on. We'll do these 3 table rows. Alright, this table row, we gave it an ID of extra cheese. This table row, we gave it an ID of extra sauce. And this table row, we added the reset button, reset form. So input type equals button, ID equals reset button, value equals reset form. If you need to pause it and type, then do so because I'm moving on. So here's the end of the table, the end of the form, and here is a script. Actually, I think I can make room and just highlight all of this now. Yes, I can. There we go. End of the table, end of the form, and here's a script that you get right before the end of the body and the end of the HTML, and this will finish off this code. Okay, so here, line 217, oops, I didn't want to do that. Line 217, var prep button equals document.getElementById, by ID, and in parentheses and double quotes, prep button, then that's the end of that statement. The next statement, ehandler.add, prep button, comma, click, comma, function, prep pizza. Okay, that was not new. I'm just reviewing that. This is new. 220 is new, 223 is new, 226 is new, and 229 is new. So for 220, var veggie button equals document.getElementById veggie special, ehandler.add veggie button, comma, click, comma, function, flip, and in parentheses, veggie special. Notice when we have the prepared pizza, prep pizza function, we didn't have anything inside of the parentheses, but here the flip function that we created, we used a parameter And so here we want to have give an argument to that parameter, and each one is going to have a different argument inside. The one is veggie special for this, and for line 223, var meet button equals document.getElementById meet special is that first statement, and then ehandler.add meet button comma click comma function, and we want to call the flip function flip, and we want meet special to be the argument to that parameter. And 226 is new, var Hawaii button equals document.getElementById Hawaiian. End that statement. The next statement is ehandler.add Hawaii button comma click comma function, and the function that we want to call here is flip, and the parameter is the argument is Hawaiian. Make sure that you do all these symbols correctly too after that. Lastly, line 229, var reset button equals document.getElementById reset button. And then the next statement is ehandler.add reset button comma click comma function, and the function that we want to call for the reset button is reset form. Okay, end of script, end of body, end of HTML. And lastly, I'll run it one more time to show you the functionality. We will hit the reload the page on the browser to make it start over from beginning. I'm going to see a veggie special. Veggie special gives us green peppers, mushrooms, and onions automatically. I'm going to change it to a thin crust and a small size. Prep pizza. This pizza will have green peppers, mushrooms, onions, thin crust, small size. Now hit reset form. Let's try the meat special. Sausage, pepperoni, and ham. Deep dish, large. Prep pizza. This pizza will have Italian sausage, pepperoni, ham, deep dish crust, large size. Hit reset form. Let's go for the third pizza, Hawaiian. Ham and pineapple automatically check mark. And let's go with, let's see, thin crust, deep dish crust, regular. We'll keep it with regular crust, and then small size, large size, medium size. We'll go with the medium size, just so that we test every single possibility. Prep pizza. Okay, so there's our three specialties: ham, pineapple, regular crust, and medium size. So that when you try every single possibility, the thin crust, the deep dish crust, the regular crust, the medium size, the large size, the small size, the three different specials, you know that your code is good for each of those. Let's try something with everything, just to make sure everything works. The extra cheese and the extra sauce. And let's go with, since that's got such a heavy topping, let's go with the deep dish crust, and we'll make it a large because we're having a party. Prep pizza. This pizza will have Italian sausage, pepperoni, ham, green peppers, mushroom, onions, pineapples, extra cheese, and then it dips over here because this flows from the right hand side of this, and then it just flows straight underneath. And I think that looks kind of ugly, but I guess you don't expect to. I guess I could fix that, but I'm not dealing with it right now. Anyway, extra cheese, extra sauce, deep dish crust, and large size. So I've tested every possibility. Reset form again takes everything off of the check marks and resets us to a regular and small default for the crust and the size. The next thing that I would like to do, instead of having to hit the reset button here on the browser to reload the page, it would be nice if I created a button that did the exact same thing, that just caused a reload without having to click up here, but have a reload, my own button, do that reload. So maybe in another video, but for now, this is done.